And I promise you, man, I'm in the studio for maybe about a 6 week period, and I'm writing some music. And I come across this one idea. I have a song that I'm working on called I Need a Girl, just a demo. And I'm just in the studio by myself and the engineers. I'm writing this song, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, man, this would be the great song for Bobby Brown. Because, you know, when you're a songwriter, you think, man, Whitney Houston can do this. Man, Lionel Richie can do this. You know, Charlie Wilson can do this. You know, you just got your wish list, right?
Yeah.
Man, if Bobby hear this, man, I know, man, he is cute. That was me, right? So I had this song. Now, my thing was I had met Bobby because I started working with Janet afterwards, and then I'm in the studio after the Rhythm Nation tour. I'm in the studio writing this song that I got for Bobby Brown. I'm trying to figure out how to get it to Bobby Brown. I don't know how I'm gonna get it to Bobby Brown, but I know this song needs to be with Bobby Brown. I promise you, man. And God is my witness. The very next day I show up at the studio, I get a phone call out of the blue at the studio from Tommy Brown. He
Bobby's
calls
brother.
Bobby's brother calls me while I'm in the studio dreaming about how I'm gonna get the song to Bobby Brown. So now I get this call from Tommy. Tommy says, "Hey D, what's up, man?" I say, "Hey man, who is this?" Tommy Brown. I said, Bobby's brother, Tommy. So we're talking, right? So he says, man, listen, Bobby's going to Japan in about a month and a half. He's been looking for you. He wants to know. He wants to know if you would play bass for him in Japan. Man, I looked at that phone. I was like, brother, absolutely. Just tell me when, where. And he's like, man, Bobby will take care of you, D. Make sure you get whatever the money is. But see what they didn't know? I would have did that gig for free. I would have hopped on a 10 speed with a pair of thongs on the reverse side to get myself to Atlanta just to do that gig. I would have been on that 10 speed. I was like thinking, God, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Really? Wow. So now, in a month and a half, I'm going to be in Atlanta. I'm going to meet Bobby Brown as a bass player, because that's all people really know me as a bass player. Fine. So I get to Atlanta.
What year was this? So we could put into the album.
This must have been 91.
Okay, so he's done the Don't Be Cruel and all that stuff. This is
he's working on the Bobby album.
He's doing on
the Bobby album.
Yeah.
He's working on the Bobby album. I didn't know he's working on the Bobby album. So yeah, about 91. Yeah. So 91, we get down there, we're rehearsing. We're rehearsing for 3 weeks in Atlanta. And I had this tape in my hand, in my pocket. And, you know, I had it just burning a hole in my pocket. I'm looking for the right time to play the song, right? I'm going to tell him about my song, right? You know, I'm not worried about the bass. He loved me as a bass player. He was a fan of my bass stuff because he was coming out on the Janet Jackson tour.
Yeah.
He was hanging out on the Janet. He was welcome, but he was hanging out whenever he got ready. So I was seeing him on Janet Jackson tour all the time, right? But I got this tape in my pocket, man, and I'm just like, every day I wake up, right? You know, it's like, you know, when you were in elementary school, that girl you like, and you said, you know, today I'm gonna talk to her.
Yeah.
And the next day go by, then before you know it, it's the end of the week, right? Then you still don't talk to her. Then before you know it's the last day of school year. Then the school year's over. You said next year I'm gonna talk to her. I'm gonna be. It was like that with this music, man. I was that intimidated to play this to let him know, right? So we have a break in the break room. We have a break, and me and Bobby's talking. So he says, "Yeah, D, man, I love, man. You was killing on that Rhythm Nation tour, man." And I said, "Yeah, Bob, you know, we just talking, small talking." I said, "Man, how you been, man?" He said, "Man, I've been all right. You know, every day after we rehearse, I go to the studio working on the album." I said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Okay." I said, "So how's it coming?" He said, "It's coming cool. You know, Teddy Riley's gonna be here soon, and gotta get with Face and gotta do this." I said, "Yeah, you're almost done." He said, "No, we're not done yet." He says, "Why? Do you have something?" And I said, "Just so happen I do." You know, and I start rubbing on my pocket. Then he says, "Well, when can I hear it?" I said, "We can hear it right now." So mind you, we're on a break. It's probably like 3 or 4 in the mid-afternoon. We go into his car. He's driving this Mercedes Benz. He's probably
5, 6 years.
no. This was the station wagon. At that time, we had about 30 of them. At that time, this was the station wagon one. And if the Benz cost 100,000, his sound system cost about 300,000. Okay, so he puts my tape in, right? So now I'm on the passenger side, and he's on the driver's side. He puts my tape in, and it gets into the song. About 15, 20 seconds in, he stops the tape, rolls down the windows. He's screaming, "Band, I need the security. I need the dancers. I need everybody to get the fuck over here by this car right now. You guys are going to hear my first single of my album." And I'm like, "What's the single?" I didn't know anything. And so he's like, "D, man, run that back. Let's listen to this." And he said, "Somebody bring me a joint." So we're in the car. Now he has everybody listening to my song. And I'm like, I don't know if they're going to like my song. They're going to clown my song. They're going to make fun of me or nothing. But everybody was listening to it and grooving and just getting into it. I was like, oh, snap, they like it, right? And so Bobby says, "Listen, when we come back from Japan, I'm going to fly you back here to Atlanta with me, and we're going to go cut this record. Plus, we're going to cut another song." So I'm like, "Dude, are you serious?" He says, "Yeah, so I'm going to have you out here for like 2 weeks after we do Japan." So I'm like, "Dude, really? He's going to record my song for real. He's going to record this song." So now I'm talking to he's got his attorneys calling me in Japan saying, "Hey, yeah, Mr. Brown, wants to, Mr. Brown you guys are going to do 2 songs. He got the studio. You're going to be working here." They're talking all this stuff that I have no clue. With the Sam's, it's like, okay, yeah. And then she says, yeah, and then yeah. So Mr. Brown's going to pay you this for this track. He's going to pay you $15,000 for this track, and then he wants to do another track, and he's going to pay you another $15,000. So yeah, I said, he's going to pay me what? And they were like, "Well, Mr. Allen, if that's a problem, you have to take that up with Mr. Brown." I said, no. No. See, yeah, he's going to pay you $15,000 for this one and another that's $30,000 for the total of 2 tracks. Is that right? Dude, my jaw hit the ground. I said, "Wait a minute. You can make that kind of money producing a record?" I said, "I'm in the wrong business." I'm in the wrong business. I'm in the wrong business. So now, I've never produced nothing. I don't know anything about producing. I just know what I did in my little studio. Now I'm in his studio called Bosstown. We're in the studio working. Song's called "I Need a Girl," right? So we're working on I Need a Girl, working on it. Almost got it finished. And I have to share the story with you, man, because it's crazy. So then he says, "Hey, man, I got to go to the airport. I'll be right back." I said, "Cool." He says, "By the way, man, when I come back, how about if my girl sing on the song? You want to get her to sing on the song?" I said, "I don't know. Who's your girl?" He said, "Dude, you know my girl." I said, "No, dude, I don't know your girl. Who your girl?" "Come on, D." I said, "Do I know who's your girl?" He said, "Man, Whitney." I said, "Whitney who?" He said, "You know Whitney Houston, my girl?" I said, "Get the hell out of here, man. I ain't messing with no Whitney Houston. Get out of here." Right? So then he says, "Do you want her to sing on the song or not?" I said, "Bob, stop playing." He said, "Man, F it, I'll be back." He goes to the airport. He comes back 1 hour later.
What?
Him and Whitney walks through the door, and when I tell you they was booed up to the T. They was booed up. And I'm back there in the booth looking like, I'm like, I can't believe it, dude. I'm like going crazy. Whitney Houston is coming in, and Bobby is saying, "So yeah, babe, this is my boy DOA. Was just telling you, he's producing the record. So he got you. I'm gonna go and get some food, and he got you. Just he gonna tell you what he need. He gonna tell you what he need, and just going, give him what he want." She's like, "Okay." Whitney Houston goes in the vocal booth, and I'm in the control room, and the engineer, it's me by myself, control room, the engineer, and on the other side is Whitney Houston. Now, believe me, bro, when I tell you I ain't never produced nobody, I ain't never produced nobody but my own little self in my studio in Sacramento, dreaming that this song could be on Bobby Brown, right?
Wow.
Now I could kind of do the Bobby Brown thing now, but now Whitney Houston, bro, I don't know what to do. So Whitney Houston is getting the thing together, getting the mic together, taking the scarf off, and I'm looking at the engineer. I'm saying, dude, what the hell do I do? What are we doing? What are we doing, bro? Tell me. What do I say? He says, dude, you got a producer. I said, I don't know how to produce nobody. I've never done this.
Oh God.
Man, I promise, man, I can't make this up, man. This is part of my testimony because it goes further. So she's like, okay, D, tell me what we're doing.
And it's your first time meeting her, right? Just
first time meeting her. First time being in the studio with an SSL board, don't know what knives do. Bobby gone. I'm with the engineer who's a big engineer. He ain't helping me. And now I got Whitney Houston on the other side. Wow. And so she said, so, okay, what are we doing? I said, let me see. So what do I say, dude? I said, you're just gonna sing, right? Sing? Just sing, right? She's like, he said, just play the damn record. Just play the record. Just I said, thank you, God. Thank you. Played the record, man. She started singing on the song. And I'm telling you, man, I was blown away. Now here I am, never producing. I got Bobby Brown. I'm producing Whitney Houston on my song. I never did that before, never produced nobody. Now I'm working with the greatest of all time on a record called I Need You, I Need a Girl. Now, the ironic thing is this. The second song that me and Bobby wrote together was a song called College Girl.
Yes, the Bobby album's my favorite album. So I know all the tracks, so don't worry about that. Yeah, so...